Okay, so you sent me this piece of music.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it's pretty creepy.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about Danse Macabre
Yes.
by Camille Saint-Saëns, and it's based on this medieval legend,
Right.
the Dance of Death.
Yeah, the Dance of Death.
So picture this.
Okay.
It's midnight Halloween.
Spooky?
Death shows up, violin in hand, and he basically throws a party for all the dead people.
He raises them from the grave.
Exactly. And they all dance till dawn.
Oh, wild.
I know, right? Super creepy.
Uh-huh.
But what I find really interesting
Okay.
is how Saint-Saëns uses music to, like, bring this whole scene to life.
Yeah, he really paints a picture.
Yeah. He sets the mood, so
Yeah.
to speak. And one of the first things you notice is this really strange sound.
Oh, yeah.
It's this dissonant interval called a tritone.
Right, right.
Now, I'm no music expert, but I've heard it described as two notes
Yeah.
that clash.
Exactly. They just don't sound good together.
They're like fighting each other.
Exactly.
And back in the Middle Ages, they called this the Diabolus in Musica,
Uh-huh.
which means literally,
The devil in music.
yeah. So you can kind of see why Saint-Saëns used it for this piece, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's just instantly unsettling. Like, think about those horror movie soundtracks.
Yeah.
All wobbly and distorted.
Yeah, it's like that feeling of dread, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like primal fear.
It is.
Like, our brains are wired to be freaked out by dissonance.
It's true.
So he's not just telling us a story.
No.
He's making us feel it.
Yeah.
Clever, but also kind of mean,
Yeah.
right?
Well, he was a genius, you know?
I guess so.
But he takes it even further.
Okay.
He uses that Diabolus in Musica.
The tritone.
Yeah, the tritone to build tension.
Okay, so how does he do that?
Well, it creates this musical anticipation, like a question that needs an answer.
I see.
And when he finally resolves it, moves to a more stable chord. It's like
Right.
this huge release.
Ah.
But then he throws in another tritone,
Oh, no.
and it starts all over again.
That's evil. It's like a musical roller coaster of anxiety.
Exactly.
Keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Musically speaking.
Musically speaking.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so I'm starting to see why this piece is so famous. But there's more to it than just the tritone, right?
Oh, definitely.
You were telling me about the violin,
Right.
which represents death.
Death himself.
Yeah.
And it's not just any ordinary violin playing. It's tuned really low.
Low.
As low as it can go.
Oh, wow.
It creates this deep, almost groaning sound.
So it's supposed to sound like death's voice
Exactly.
coming from the grave.
From the depths.
That's so creepy.
It's really effective, though.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all the best villains in movies, they always have these deep, gravelly voices.
They do.
It's like instantly unnerving.
It is.
And Saint-Saëns is doing the same thing here.
Yeah.
But with music.
With music.
I get it. It's supposed to be death's voice.
Huh?
But does it really sound that creepy?
Oh, it does?
Or maybe my speakers aren't good enough.
No, trust me. It's bone-chilling.
Really?
Especially when you hear it in the context of the whole piece. You know, with the tritones, the driving rhythm, it's like a skeleton tapping its bony fingers on your window pane.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's creepy. Got it.
But it gets even creepier.
What? No way.
Yes.
It gets creepier than a skeleton tapping on my window.
Well, maybe not creepier, but more interesting, for sure.
Okay. Intrigue.
So the dance is building up. It's reaching its peak.
Yeah.
You think, this is it. It can't get any spookier. And then there's this sudden shift out of nowhere. This bright, clear flute solo.
The flute.
Out of nowhere.
Just cuts through the darkness.
Wow.
It represents a rooster crowing, signaling the break of dawn.
Oh, it's like the end of a scary movie, right?
Exactly.
When the sun finally comes up.
Relief.
Yeah, like everything's going to be okay.
Exactly. It's a powerful symbol. Hope. Renewal.
After all that, darkness and dissonance. Right. And in a lot of cultures, roosters are seen as like guardians against evil creatures of the light. They're crowing. It's like the end of the night, the return of order.
Right.
And with that single flute solo, Saint-Saëns ends the dance. The dead go back to their graves. Death retreats to the shadows.
Until next Halloween.
Until next Halloween.
Wow. So we've got this creepy legend brought to life by all these amazing musical details.
Right.
The Devil's Interval.
Yeah.
The ghostly violin. And then that glorious rooster solo at the end. It's really incredible how Saint-Saëns creates this whole soundscape
Yeah.
that's both vivid and terrifying. But here's a question for you.
Okay.
why do you think this whole dance of death theme
Mm.
has resonated with people for so long?
That's a good question.
It keeps showing up
Yeah,
in art,
it does.
literature,
Right.
even music, like this. Like, we're fascinated by death.
I guess so.
Maybe it's a way of confronting our fears.
Could be.
Or maybe it's just morbid curiosity. Either way, it's something to think about.
It is.
So if you haven't already, definitely check out a recording of Danse Macabre. You can really hear all these elements we've talked about come together. It's an unforgettable experience.
It really is.
And who knows, maybe it'll inspire you to do your own deep dive into the world of spooky music. Until next time.
Happy listening. I'm